Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Bricks King podcast, where I'm going to bend your ear about Lego, review those amazing bricks of plastic, and discuss what is new and up and coming around the Lego world. I'm your Minifigure ghost, Matt. Let's build on it. Welcome in, everybody. How are we doing? Episode 214 today. And just as promised on the piggyback of the News on the Twos, which took place on Wednesday because of all the craziness. I know. Anyway, we are back today and we are talking about Monkie Kid, the new up-and-coming stuff that you can purchase on January 1st. We have a few of them here today. We actually have 3 of them here today. We have a few more shows to cover up the rest of them because it is quite a vast array of great Monkie Kid stuff. So let's go ahead and dive on in. So the first one here, 80030. It is Monkie Kid's Staff Creations. It has a $35 price tag if you are here in the United States, or 30 euros elsewhere where they use euros. It has 309 pieces, and I've got to tell you, this is a pretty cool little set. It is essentially a Creator 3-in-1, and what I mean by that is this. So you have the set, and you have the pieces, and there are essentially a few different things that you can build, and here's what you can do. You can build a plane, which is actually probably my favorite. I know there's a mech in this, and you're like, but I thought you loved mechs. Yes, but it's a uber tiny little mech, so no, because it's not quite the mech that I enjoy. However, you could build a mech, you can build a plane, you can build a car, which looks more like a Formula One race car with a really screwed up nose on the tip of it, which would be very Formula One-esque if you know anything about F1. But that in mind, what I do like about this is it is quick connect stuff. What I mean by that is the way these are assembled. Lego has done a really interesting plot, idea, twist, so that you can essentially build a main section and then throw on a ton of other pieces. You can add on pieces that just get really weird. You could essentially make your mech look really weird if you really wanted to. Everything is just clipped into place. The side pods on the car and the nose and the tail. Same with the plane, with the wings and the forward and the aft sections. The mech, the arms and the leg / hip portion, along with the arms. I mean, you could really do some wild stuff, and I like this. And this kind of goes with what they are doing with the current version of Ninjago, not the canonical version of Ninjago, because that has not been released yet, but Ninjago in the sense that the new stuff that is going to be available January 1st is a what if. What if there was no cartoon? What if there was no series of Ninjago? What could they do? And that's essentially what they can do and what they did for the new Ninjago wave. And that it kind of folds over into this specific set for Monkie Kid. It is really nice because you do get 2 minifigs, you do get Monkie Kid, and I do love his garb here. He's got his yellow arms hanging out, and he has a really cool white vest-looking torso. I love the print on it. And then you also have, I'm assuming, is that the Monkey King? I don't think it's the Monkey King, maybe necessarily. However, you do get a monkey figure here. He does have that flamish orange color. I do like that, with that nice teal printed bow tie of I guess you could call it his maybe a cape in the front. And then he has a staff as well. I do like the way that looks. It is one of my favorite figures that they have done. Plus, there's also printing on the legs. But legs, yeah, let's move aside from the legs. Personally, I think 35 is a little bit too much to ask, considering it's a Creator 3-in-1. I know the pieces are there, but you've got to build different things. And neither of the things that you are building, in my opinion, are solid enough to bring to the table and be good enough, right? So there is a new piece that is involved in this. There is a new piece, and what that does is it does allow clips to attach to it. It does have 2 of the 1x2 rounded ended plates that have holes in it, but in this case it has 2 bars that go through it and essentially making it a brick, whereas you can put clips into that middle space where there would be a middle plate, because if you don't know the brick height in Lego, 3 plates equal a brick. So that center plate is missing from what would be a brick. I know that was a lot to take in. Is your mind melted yet? It possibly could be, especially if you're not an AFOL. You might be like, what the hell did I just listen to? Anyway, with that in mind, that is this set. That is all this set really has to offer. It isn't bad. I would rather see it at 30, or maybe, you get it on sale, 25. Maybe if you could get it even lower than that, score. It's not a bad parts pack as well. Plus you get 2 minifigs with it. So it's not all a loss. So the next one I want to talk about is Maze or Mize. I think it's May. I always do this. Every time there's a new wave of Monkie Kid, I always butcher the names. So we're going to go with May. May's dragging car. I remember the bike, the horse-ish, whatever you want to call it, type of bike, this weird looking motorcycle that she had. It was cool. The last, I think it was last wave. I loved it. I thought it was really neat. However, this time she's getting a car. It has a $50 price tag to it, which, really isn't that bad considering 40 euros, and it has 456 pieces. 80031 is the set number if you're looking for it. And I've got to tell you, this fits with standard length vehicles that are, the 8, 12, 15, 80 bajillion stud wide, big chunky vehicles, not speed champions, not anything else, just big vehicles. I think of like Ninjago. I think of, City really doesn't do any vehicles that are this big, but definitely like Ninjago. Friends doesn't have vehicles. That's pretty much it. But it's a massive vehicle in the size comparison, not like, oh my God, it's as big, big as Technic. It's huge. No, it's 12 studs wide, if you really want to break it down. Now, what is really neat about this thing, you do have bigger wheels in the front than you do, you have bigger wheels in the back than you do in the front. And then in the front, you do have some claws that actually clip in just behind the front wheels that can be moved about. There are 3 of them, which is kind of cool. You can put them right up against the wheel. It does not increase friction at all. Or maybe you want to fan them out and make it look a little bit more menacing. Like, I'm going to puncture your tires, fool. What you going to do about it? I mean, you could always do that as well. Bunch of stickers that are in here. There's a sticker for the windshield and the cockpit, stickers on the side, stickers on the front, stickers on the aero plates that are just behind the cockpit. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. They use the what do you want to call these? They use these in Ninjago during the, oh my goodness, the wave where it was the Digiverse. I can't remember the name of the season. They used these. They were in a different color. This time you're getting them in the translucent kind of like neon green color. Doesn't look bad at all. I like that you also have some wings in the back that can be molded. That can be maneuvered around to be able to give you different contours and give you a different idea of aerodynamic ability. I like that. That's kind of neat. It's not anything necessarily for the function. It's just for aesthetic purposes. But what is really neat, in my opinion, is the ridgeline. So this is supposed to be what? A dragon. In the front of it, they did do a good dragon option. You do have some gold teeth in the front, and you do have some gold fangs that are in the front. There is a giant projectile that is able to be launched from just below the teeth. It's a huge glob type targeting piece that you can shoot out. I like the way that is done. And then just behind the dragon head, which you feel the dragon head, especially with the, again, translucent, that neonish green type color for the eyes. You feel that. But what is really cool is when you just go down the back behind the skull along the vertebrae, which is really, really coolly done. And you press on the back of that, what that does is it activates the mechanism, the shooter mechanism, to be able to shoot this puppy out, and you can destroy whatever is in front of you. The cockpit does open. One of my favorite things about the cockpit is it does have a gamepad controller. I think that is really cool. That works. And here's the other thing. So I'm always talking about where can you put a weapon? Where can you put a weapon? What can you do about a weapon? Well, there are no clips to store May's weapon. But if you finagle this thing in the right position, and I have it on the left side, you can do it left or right side. You can actually fit her weapon, which has that dragon's head hilt on it. You can fit it on the left or the right side, where part of the top end of the blade is sticking out the rear of the windshield, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. I do like the way that looks. I do like the opportunity that you do have with that. It would be nice if we had a clip, but all I could think of is I'm looking around this thing. I had spent time looking at it, and I'm like, there is literally nowhere you could put a clip and not have it look like crap. That's all there is to it. So moving back the main part of the body, what is really nice is on the sides, you do have what is supposed to almost be like scales with the cheese sloped tiles here that are in that nice translucent greenish, neon greenish type color. And then moving back to the big wheels, I love the big wheels. I love the forward rake on this thing that it gives the appearance of having. And then out the back end, you have some exhaust that is here. You do have another sticker out the back end of the exhaust pipes, which is fine. I don't have any big issues with this. I do like the way it looks. There is some maneuverability with some pieces, really not that much. You know, a slight swivel here or there. Now, what is cool, and I don't recall seeing this before. So on some of the, for instance, on the sword piece, not on the hilt, but on the sword piece, you have that nice neon green, translucent greenish type color, but it's dual molded and there's some white that is inside of it. I think that is really cool. It does feel like it gives it a different flexibility. I don't quite know why. I do know that it doesn't quite fit as well into the clips that it was meant to be in. I'm not sure if that is part of the dual molding process, or maybe it's just slightly smaller for whatever reason, but it is nice in its own right. So there's more to this. That is the main vehicle. You also get a chopper style motorcycle that does come with this. This is part of the baddie cycle that is going on here. I do love this, and here's why. It's a 3-wheeled vehicle. It's a tricycle type motorcycle. It looks like something I've seen in Ninjago. Of course, you're going to say it looks like it feels Nexo Knight-ish mixed with Ninjago, mixed with a version of Weird City. I don't know. But it was a cool little build. It was something that I did not expect. If you have an opportunity to build this, you're going to be like, holy crap, that was cool. How did they do that? And what I mean by that is this. So the front end of the vehicle, you have the long bars that go out to the front wheel of the motorcycle. Great. Awesome. Nothing new that Lego hasn't done before. You'd be wrong. So you do have the front assembly, but if you have ever used the joints that they usually use on like robots and stuff like that have the click pieces in it and they connect together. So what this does is this. It clicks into place, you put it into its position, and then you click it upright. And they use some of like the fictitious space type shooters as not handlebars, but more like a shock assembly. It's really neat in the way that it's done. And it solidifies it. I mean, it locks everything into place. It's a really neat idea. I like the way that it is done. You do have your handlebars here. And then just behind that, you have your dual wheels, but you also have tailpipes that are back here, exhaust pipes that have flames, purple flames that are sticking out, by the way, translucent purple flames that are sticking out. They almost feel like grapish colored flames. And then you also have some pipes just down below that. Here's where my bugaboo is with this. I hate just adding pipes onto studs because they ultimately always fall off. I have probably replaced these literally no less than a dozen times in moving it around, playing with it, just because they pop off so easily. And you're like, oh no, you belong here. Let me get you in the right place. And you do something else and you touch it and click. a few of them pop off. Not the end of the world. Definitely not my favorite part of the build. You do also get a few baddies that come with this. I'm not quite sure what the baddies' names are, but baddie number 1 has this awesome Psy type weapon that has a bar that is in the middle and connects to the size on the end. I do love that they do use the same printed headpiece. They also do use the same hair piece, which is, it's whatever it is. But their face is red. Their ears are red and their hair is black. It is dual molded. Obviously, one face, nothing on the backside. Their face also kind of has fangs. It's kind of funky looking. They do have some interesting print that is across their chest. They do have some red looking printing across their chest. And then this weird grayish, silverish type print for the monkey part that also has the white teeth. They're emblazoned, like boldly emblazoned here. It's kind of weird, but they do have that. And then they have the black pants. They also have a black tail as well, and nothing to complain about. The other monkey also has a chain that has an anchor that is attached to a hilt. Nothing super duper amazing special. Now, May's weapon, we've already talked about. Her weapon has the blade that is dual molded and then has the dragon hilt. She has 2 different faces. She has a face with her mouth agape and the other one closed. Same hairpiece as we have seen in the past. I do like her teal printed legs and her teal hands. Her torso is actually really printed quite uniquely in the sense that it does have quite a bit of different coloring. So it's almost like that spring green color for her torso where there's printing on it. I'm really impressed by the way that it is done. Something that I haven't seen before, and LEGO really knocked this minifig out of the park, in my opinion. So let's move on to Monkie Kid. Monkie Kid has a few different things here. Monkie Kid has this 4-wheeled type, you want to call it a cloud-powered skateboard. Essentially, you can position him on that and he can use that. He's got this little ring type deal, which looks like a life preserver if you know anything about the modulars or Lego City. And it has some translucent orange. It has a flame on it, which makes it look like it's powered. I don't know enough about Monkie Kid, so bear with me with that. His printing on his body, his torso, is not that bad. He does come with a staff with the gold hilts on the end. He does come with a compass, and he does come with this, a sticker map that he is holding, a stickered map type scroll looking piece that is here. He does have 2 different faces. He does have the angry, I'm going to mess some stuff up, I'm not happy. And then the more peaceful, Monkie Kid type face. His headband, black hair and red headband is printed as well. His torso is really nice. I do like the strap that is going across, which is supposed to simulate like a backpack or a small molly pack type style, something small across his back. I do like the way that is done. And then his legs are red. He's got printed boots. He's also got some printed stuff like almost like a D-ring that is hanging off his one pocket. They are dual molded, so you do have the black for the bottom and the red for the knee type section, if you will. So in my opinion, it's not too bad. I do like the way that is done. I think it turned out really well. I do like this set mainly because the vehicle is something completely different. You do get a secondary vehicle. You do get a tertiary vehicle as well. Plus you get 4 minifigs. I don't really know what the map is all about. There's a lot here. I really cannot complain about the price on this. I really think it is something like, you know what? Yeah, absolutely. I see the price of this and I agree. If you can get it for cheaper, absolutely. Of course, you're going to jump all over it. But I really like the May minifig here, and I really like the baddies here, probably more than I like Monkie Kid. So on to the last one here that we have is the 80032. I don't know that I'm going to say this right, but I'm going to try. The Chang'e Mooncake Factory. Essentially, if you take the word change and you make it CHANG apostrophe E, that's what you're getting. So Chang'e, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, with that in mind, this lovely set has 609 pieces. It retails for $70 here in the US and only 50 euros. Hello, good night. What on earth is going on? I don't know, a lot of things, obviously. But with that in mind, shall we talk about this cool looking set? Because I had a lot of fun building this. I thought this was interesting. And I have a few things that I came across. I was like, I get it. I didn't see it at the time, but I saw it afterwards. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go out on a limb because I don't know nearly enough about Monkie Kid. I have not seen Monkie Kid because it was weirdly dubbed here in the US. It's on Amazon, I believe. I haven't watched it. I think my son has watched it. But with that in mind, we're going to talk about it and I'm going to do my best. So if I screw it up and I don't know what I'm talking about, please don't send me any more hate email or social media messages, especially DMs. If you're going to hate on me, just put it out there for everybody to see so that they can hammer you. But if you do, just know from here on out, I'm airing out the dirty laundry. If you want to hate on me in private, I'm putting your stuff out there. Anyway, with that in mind, there's a few minifigs, and I want to start off with those because I believe that Chang-E or Chang-Ji, whatever you want to call it, that the minifigure. So Chang-E is what I'm going with. Maybe it's Shang-E. Either way, the female minifig here is interesting to me. Blue lipstick. It's two-faced, by the way. Blue lipstick I find very interesting. Angry face on one side. The hair, which I have never seen before. This is dual molded as well. You do have some teal horns, and they are not identical. The horns that are sticking out above, along with a bow type thing. She does come with a skirt. It is not printed, but she does have printed legs, have some teal, has some orange on it. Also some more of the pearl gold type color. I do like that on the front and the back. There is a bunny, an orange bunny that is on the back of her print of her torso, which I found interesting. Are you in cahoots with the bunnies? Is that what's going on here? I think that's what's going on. Anyway, so I don't know whether this is a baddie or a goodie or a neutral like Switzerland. I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to pretend this is a baddie and we're just going to roll with it that way. Her opposite face. Her opposite face is a winky-eyed face. She has one eye open, one eye closed, the mouth agape, like a wink, like, hey, did you see? Uh-huh. But what I found interesting is on this print, on both sides of this printed face, there is like a gem/jewel necklace type thing that is hanging just above the eyebrows on both faces, but it's covered up by hair. So what is the significance? Is this something going somewhere else? I don't know. Anyway, so you have her. There also comes with your cat. I cannot remember the cat's name. We'll get to the cat in a little bit. But you also do have this bad-looking bunny guy that comes with the set as well. I do like the bad-looking bunny guy. He has two faces as well. He has a really scary-looking robotic black with red eyes and a nose face. And on the backside, it is a blue with some polka dots on it type style and blue eyes and a blue nose, but it's passive. It's like, it's a pensive face. Like, I'm just here. It has the bunny head on top of it. And then when you flip it around, it turns into pure evil. And it scares me. It really scares me. White legs, no print on it. On the back of the torso, you do have some printing. I do like the way that it's done. The coloring is really well. The teal and the orange, same as in the front, is supposed to be like a belt. He also comes with a carrot type shooting weapon. I think that's kind of interesting. It's fine by me as my phone dings in the background. Not a bad minifig to go along. Pigsy also comes with this. Pigsy, how does nobody love Pigsy? And what I mean by that is this. Pigsy is like the classic Chewbacca, but a more popular Chewbacca, like I'm in your face. I mean, he's got the weird ears, the nose. It's a great minifig anytime you get something with Pigsy. He's got his space pitchfork, which is built really weirdly. He also has one of those donut type lifesavers that has the blue flame piece on top of it. Not quite sure the significance of that. He does have an air tank as well. Obviously, it comes with his chef's hat. He does have printing that is on the front and on the back, although on the back you can't really see it because of the air tank, but on the front it does have that pearl gold and that teal color. I do love the way that is done as well. There are a few tiny builds. When I mean a few tiny builds, there's like one and then, the two smaller builds that come along with the set. The first is essentially supposed to be like a radar station. I think it's radar, right? It is like a lunar landing type station. You have feet that are on the bottom. They use some umbrella type pieces that are on the bottom for the feet. I do like the way they are hinged into place. They work really well. They can work on multiple different types of surfaces as well. But here's what I don't quite get. There are 4 studs here. Are you sitting a minifig so that they can look at the screens? All right, cool. The problem I have is when you look at the screens, if you look at it and there's light behind it, you can't see the screens in the middle because these are translucent pieces. And then you have the anti-stud type piece on the back side. You're not able to see. So on one side, you can see Chang'e. And then on the other side, you can see Pigsy. So I'm not really sure what is going on. I'm sure it's something fun, something awesome. There is a sticker that does come here with another piece as well. It looks like a game type pad that is going on. There's a printed piece that looks like a D-pad. Not too bad, not horrible. Could have been better. I don't really know the significance. Not knowing the significance of what that piece may be, would have preferred to have it out and put pieces somewhere else, but I really can't complain. So let's move on to this next piece here. This is the command control central for the rabbits. I'm assuming this means Chang'e or Chang'e or whatever her name is. She's infatuated by rabbits. Loves rabbits. Loves little bunnies. And we'll talk about the bunnies that come with the set here in a minute. But this felt very city-esque. Just kind of dazzled up to make it look more like something a rabbit would do. I mean, the radar dish, antenna dish, whatever it is, has a carrot that is sticking out of it. Of course, there is a carrot cake that is, I'm assuming that's a carrot cake. It is supposed to be on the top. You have a pumpkin with some dangling stuff that is hanging just below the recovery pad, which is kind of neat that you can have a launch and recovery. The launch dome, you do have a full-on carrot that is in here, which absolutely cracks me up in the way this is done, because you have 3 boxes in here, the solid box pieces, and then they put tiles over the top. They have stickers on it as well, which have cookies in them. And then you are able, so this is a carrot. It's a giant carrot that you are launching into space, and the bottom of the carrot is the greenery of the carrot that you see sticking up out of the ground. But what is really neat is they use a version of like the robot arms, and after you have the pieces in, you push it up and it kind of locks into place because there's a 1x2 modified plate that has this overhang that is on it, and it locks it into place. I would love to see that in more places. There's stickers all over the bottom as well. So you stick that into place, you do your countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're taking cookies to wherever you're taking cookies. So on the inside, like I said, you have 3 canisters, 3 boxes of cookies, which is, it is what it is. It's part of the play experience. I do like that it is a playable experience. It's not a pretend experience. Well, it's pretend because obviously you're not going to space, but you know what I mean. So with that in mind, you have the launching section just below on the bottom, and then up to the right on the top, you have a landing pad that you can recover your rocket. You have your command control, which has a nice bubble window that is in there. But what I find interesting is it's not just command control that is going on in here. You have a cookie factory. And I've spun this thing around so that I'm looking at it from the rear. It does have some nice blue legs that are here. But what you have is they use 1x1 plates in like a darker nougat type color. And then they also use the megaphone piece and attach one of those plates. And it's supposed to simulate, hey, I'm dropping a cookie or a pastry piece onto this conveyor belt. So there are two of them that are already on there, and it's supposed to simulate another one dropping. They go through the cooker, I guess, and come out, and they do have new tiles. These new tiles are 1x1 round tiles. They do have a bunny that is in the middle of them, the head of a bunny that's on the middle of them. I love the way those look. Those are so stinking cool. You do have another canister that has some cookies in it as well that is hanging out there. I love this. This is super duper amazing. On the one side of this, if you're looking at it from the rear on the right side, you do have a picture of Pigsy, and he's got a bowl of some noodles. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a wanted poster or something like that, but I do really appreciate the way this thing was built. I really enjoy this. It is something small. It is something that is playable. It is something that you can have a lot of fun with, especially if you're a, kid in the target audience as my carrot falls over. But it is something that you can have a lot of fun with. So let's move on to the very last piece, and by far my favorite. So I think this was bags 2, 3, maybe 4. 2, 3, and 4 maybe. This is a mech, a bunny mech. Holy crap, I do love this. This is by far one of the coolest builds, smaller builds that I have ever done. The colors, the space idea, bunnies. They're shooting bunnies. I mean, like they're not shooting other bunnies. They're bunnies that shoot. Hello. Oh my God. This is super duper cool. Plus the build that goes on with this, I really did appreciate. So let's start with the main build itself. Let's look at it. So on the front, you do have a cockpit that does open. It uses a amber colored bubble that uses some hinges that does open. And that assembly that has 2 bunnies in it is, in my opinion, supposed to be like a flyer, because what it does is it just has barely any connection, and it can come out and you can go shoo and fly around with your 2 bunnies. I'm okay with that. I like my bunnies that fly around. I'm all right with that. On the left and right sides, you do have what are supposed to be like arm cannons. They do shoot tiles. You put a few tiles in there. You can fit 2 in there, and you can launch them. And boy, do they launch. I think they launch further than any other tile. I think this is the new mechanism that LEGO has been working on that I heard about. This is fantastic. But they do have a bunch of maneuverability. They do have some stickers on them as well. The legs, they look like a bunny that is about to launch, and not launch into space. If you've ever walked past a rabbit and you see it sitting there, maybe it's nibbling on some greens, and you're like, oh, look at it. It's a cotton-tailed rabbit. Look at it. It's so pretty. They have those massive legs that if they want to go, they go. And that is what LEGO designers did here with the build. It does swivel around. It does give you the opportunity to be able to pose this thing in different ways to make it look like it's going and landing and whatever. The legs do not extend in any way. I tried. They are locked into place. However, there is a really interesting leg build that goes on here. You do have some thrusters that are on the rear end of the leg, on the very bottom of the leg, but on the back end of the leg. But what you have here is you have a mix of like bar modifications with the 90-degree attachment piece that has a clip and a bar receptacle on one side, which attaches to a bar, I mean, whoever designed this went way and above norms and was like, hey, watch me work. Because when I built this, I was like, what in the hell are we doing here? What? and it allows rigidity to the pieces, and it also allows a more robotic type existence from the aesthetic on the outside. I do like the way that looks. So with that in mind, you do have some caution colors here, the yellow and the black that are, alternated here with some teal that is in that as well. You move around to the rear. What do you have on the rear? You have a booty. You have a bunny booty. Is that a thing? A bunny booty? It is now. Trademark, verbal trademark, bunny booty. You can take the bunny booty off. If you know anything about a bunny booty, it has the fluffy tail on it. And this has a fluffy tail as well, using a ball on the end. There on the inside, you do have some things here. You do have like this weird looking keypad. You do have some orange pieces here. And then you also have some trans orange pieces that are inside of this cooler. I'm assuming maybe they're like frozen carrot slices, or maybe it's pleated uranium slices that are colored in orange. I honestly don't know what these bunnies are up to. Let's see if I can get the bunny booty back on. Nope. Sure. There. Got the bunny booty back on. Anyway, bunny booty, bunny booty, bunny booty. Say that 10 times fast. See if you can do it. Anyway, so moving along to the top part. The top part does have some stickerage as well. It does have this weird looking bunny that is wrapped around a cookie, which I think is kind of interesting. And then it does have some other weird language that is going on here with a bunny face. And then it does have brick built ears. Yes. Brick built ears. Who doesn't love brick built? Brick built is like, hello, amazing, awesome. Yes, you love me. I think I'm freaking awesome. Absolutely. So this, by far, here's what you can do. You can hold it in one hand. You can put your thumb on the bottom. You can put your thumb on the top and put fingers on underneath. You can hold it from side to side and maneuver it. There is so much playability with this piece alone that I love it. It doesn't have to just be Monkie Kid. If you never saw Monkie Kid and you got these minifigs, you'd be like, oh, this is so amazing. I could do this. You could. You might not be able to have a full-on battle. You might be, maybe you would need another set. But it would be a lot of fun, in my opinion. I like what this is. I like what this has. I think it is something that you can have a lot of fun with. It was a cool build. If you're like, that's stupid. Well, I don't like Monkie Kid at all. You'll like it. The build is cool. The carrot build is cool. The bunny mech is wild in its own right. I mean, who doesn't love a removable bunny booty? Hello. Anyway, with that in mind, it also does come with the cat. I can't remember Kitty's name, the teal colored kitty, but you do get your kitty here as well. I love this. I think all three of these sets are amazing. We do have some more that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the evil, is it McQuays? I don't know. Mech. We're going to talk about Nezha's firing, and then we will end it with the City of Lanterns. So the next few episodes coming out here in the near future will involve all three of those sets. Unfortunately, I did not have an opportunity to look at the Galactic Explorer, which looks wicked in its own right. But who doesn't love a vehicle that uses train track or roller coaster track pieces, mind you, to maneuver about? Wicked! Come on, let's get on it, So with that in mind, that's going to wrap up this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys check these things out when they come out January 1st. They are January 1st everywhere. Lego.com/shop at home, I think, something like that. Your Lego stores, you might be able to find them at your big boxes, although they'll probably be straight dated until January 1st. If you find them early, check this stuff out. I think you would be impressed. So far, this has been my favorite Monkie Kid wave as a whole, aside from the sense that maybe the mechs just didn't quite do it. But we essentially got a mini modular, so that works as well. So until we meet again, I'm your minifig host, Matt. Let's build on it.